Welcome to TLC, 10 Life Community Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Anderson, and I'm here with our co-host, Pamela, and we're here to bring you a new perspective on what's happening in our community and where we dive into our local heart of the community. It's wineries, restaurants, business, real estate, and theater. This week we have a special guest, Heather Hendrix-McAdams from the Woodinville Repertory Theater, the executive director.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah, we want to hear about all
All
things
right, well,
rep.
before we jump into all things rep, firstly,
I'm jumping around, aren't I?
You are. You're all over the place. You can tell it's been a minute since you've done one of these, but you know what? That's okay. I'm here to keep you on track. So before we say anything else, I'm just going to say congratulations. This is season 3.
Oh, yes,
episode
yes.
1. So yes.
Yes, I missed that. I know.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's why I'm here.
There you go.
All right, so we're kicking off season 3 with the Repertory Theater, but as always, we have our Sippin' on Success.
Yeah.
What do you have for us this week?
Well, since there's been a trend in the local drinking world of non-alcoholic beverages, we always like to feature someone local, and I was surprised to find there isn't a lot of options, but I found Maitière Brewing right down around the corner from us here, and they've got a lot of great beers. In fact, I think they won an award for their, I've got it here in front of me, the Coconut Porter. It's called Black Stripe Coconut Porter. But we're just going to try the hop water today, which is a sparkling hop water. And it's non-alcoholic, so you can still be social and not have to worry about the alcohol intake.
That's right. And I think it's great that there are more and more people are kind of looking for those alternative options, whether it's a non-alcoholic wine or beer or mocktails. And I think, we're going to see more and more of this coming. I know we've talked to Adam from the Woodinville Wine Country, and he's kind of talked about how that shift is happening and more, there are more people looking for those options. So I'm glad that we have something that we can try. All right. So as you mentioned, it's called sparkling hot water. Let's dig in and see what we think. All right.
I opened it already. No sound effects today.
Oh, I don't know if I have a sound effect for that one. I've definitely got a cork, but I don't know if I'll maybe have to look for one in post-production for opening a can of something. All right, I'm going to talk for a second while you guys have a little taste and a little sniff, and let's see if we can describe it to our audience that aren't having the pleasure of trying this.
That's pleasant, actually.
Yeah. You don't need to sound so surprised.
Well, I don't know if
I mean, you're a wine guy.
Could you see it on my face?
No, but you're a wine guy for the most part, right? So, we like to kind of change things up, and we've had cider on the show, and we've had all sorts of other things, but a beer we haven't had, right?
This is true.
I'm actually non-alcoholic almost all the time, so I can give you a good feedback.
All right, well,
Perfect.
let's dig in a little bit so we can describe it to our audience. What do we taste from this? I mean, obviously, don't say hops because that would, but what are those kind of flavor profiles that you're getting from this, and what does it smell like so other people can enjoy without actually partaking this time around?
It's definitely got like an IPA fragrance to it and a little bit of an IPA taste. I wouldn't say it's a strong IPA, so if you're used to drinking IPA alcoholic beers, this isn't going to be as strong as that. This definitely has a water quality to it. So you're going to get a much, I would say, more subtle version of an IPA.
And I'm trying to think, I thought when I was kind of put my nose in the glass to start with, it had a little bit of a floral note to it, but when you actually taste it, it's less floral and a little bit more kind of melon flavor to it is what I'm getting from it. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's taste profiles are different. So
well, I want to say alfalfa, but in a good way. I mean, I don't want it to be, because it does taste good. It's like a sparkling water, like a... What's the brand? Anyway.
I don't know, but it does taste like a beer, but without the heaviness, like that hoppy heavy, and some even like that mouthfeel. We talk about mouthfeel with wine. It has a feel of alcoholic beer without that component to it.
It's got a little bit of fizz to it. I would say also I'm not a big IPA drinker when I do drink beer, and I actually like this. Yeah. So I would say this is a nice subtle version of an IPA. So even if you're not an IPA hoppy kind of drinker,
it doesn't have that aftertaste either.
Right.
Sometimes there's most beers they kind of have that. They can be heavy on the hop flavor afterwards, but this doesn't have that lingering bitter flavour to
Yeah.
it. It is really round and soft.
I think I could get carried away drinking this on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
There
think
you
it's
go.
a
They're
great
right
one.
down the street.
Yeah.
They
All
are.
right. Good. I'm so glad you
You know
introduced
what
me
it
to
could
this.
be? It could be a... Come on, don't leave
It's
me hanging.
not a porch pounder, Pamela. You can't say that.
You know what? I have to leave the door open for you every time. So
I know. Season 3, we bring porch pounder back.
in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're going to continue to enjoy this sparkling hot water. But we're going to
Hop.
What did I
said
say?
hot.
No, I said hop. It's the accent. I apologise. You know, don't give me grief over there, you. Season 3, and he's just kicking it off with a load of shade.
Yeah, we just don't.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into all things the Woodinville Repertory Theater with Heather.
It's a mouthful.
A little bit, yeah. And that was without the alcohol. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned.
you in a minute.
We will be right back.
Welcome back to TLC 10 Life Community Podcast, where we're going to dive into all things Woodinville Repertory Theater with our special guest, Executive Director Heather Hendrix-McAdams. So we're excited to have you on the show, Heather. Let's start with a little about you so our audience has some context.
Sure.
As we mentioned, you're an Executive Director of the Woodinville Repertory Theater. In addition to that, we understand that in the past you've been involved in theater, design, fine arts, and community engagement.
Yeah, yeah. So my path, well, I've been always involved in theater. My path through theater is definitely not a straight line.
Okay.
It's a very winding path. So my initial introduction to theater was actually through the public school system.
Oh.
If it hadn't been for the public schools, I wouldn't have had access to theater and never would have had all the benefits. So my journey through the public school system in high school, I really developed a love and a passion for the community that theater builds and for the experience. So I went on to study it in college along with fine art. And then, through nonprofit work and community building work, diverged into getting my master's in interior architecture. Then always involved in nonprofit, always in community building. Came back to theater eventually at the Woodinville Rep.
Okay.
So here I am.
That's quite a journey. I love
It
it when
is.
it's not linear. I love it when there's all these squiggly lines to get to a point.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like that in real estate sometimes.
Don't we all?
Right. Believe it or not, I had a stint in real estate for a while
Oh,
in
did you?
Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
sure
boy.
did. Sure
Okay,
did.
I'll have to talk more about that
Yeah.
maybe offline.
Community
So-
building.
What your role at the Woodinville Rep brings together so many of your skills. How does your background in design and theater shape how you approached your role as the executive director?
So I would say that definitely I've been trying to focus on the bigger picture
Okay.
through everything I've done.
No pun intended.
Right. Creating a sustainable and accessible and welcoming space for the community is so important to me, whether, we're talking about set or show design and being hands-on, just the experience of bringing people into things and building together rather than it being this individual experience. I really love theater because it's a place where creativity can flourish, where people can bring themselves and their experience that they have and may not have a lot of background in theater, but we make a place for them. And so I think that a lot of my community building experience in the past and nonprofit work has really led to that.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we pride ourselves on at the Rep, is being a place for you, whatever your experience level is. So it's not just about bringing professionals, although we do bring in professionals to kind of train and help mentor people in the community who've never had experience before.
Okay.
So
That's cool. I when going through high school, I had serious stage fright. I mean, I couldn't hardly talk in front of the classroom. Just like, oh my
yeah,
God.
There's a
yeah,
lot of people are like that.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It doesn't always get better as
I
you get
agree.
older either.
I agree.
And now
Yeah.
look at you.
I'm just so
you're-
old now. I just don't care.
Oh, is that it? Well, but now you're hosting a podcast, so
Yeah.
you've come a long ways from the guy that didn't want to speak in front of class.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's. There might be some people out there that don't really know very much about the repertory theatre, so
Sure.
I kind of want to touch on the start, the evolution. So for those that don't know, the theatre actually has a really cool history. It was founded by Peg Phillips, who some people may know or may remember from Northern Exposure.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
I don't know what that is, but
Really?
yeah. Anyway, that's yes.
We were talking about this the other day. Where have you been?
Hiding under a rock, apparently, according to you. But we imagine that her vision still kind of plays a role in the theatre today. Can you touch on this a little bit, kind of, the start of that and how that evolution has kind of come along and where we're at today?
Sure. And unfortunately, Peg was before my time here in Seattle area even. So Peg was Ruth Ann on Northern Exposure. And she was actually brought into the performing arts much later in life, is when her role as Ruth Ann on Northern Exposure made her more of a well-known figure in television altogether. So she really turned back to her community where she had grown up and where she lived, of Woodinville, and wanted to bring professional quality theater here to Woodinville. And I think we've carried that forward in a big way. Just starting out with Peg and developing Woodinville Repertory Theater, and then what it's grown into today. It's really, I hope she would be proud.
I'm sure she would. I'm going to go Google what Northern Exposure is. I know it's a TV program. I just don't know if I've ever watched it.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've seen it.
Okay, it's definitely an American program. So.
Based in like Roslyn or Cleellum or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to get myself backed into a corner.
Yeah, they filmed in a lot of places around this area, so I would be lying if I told you a specific.
All right. Well, so then let's look at some of the shows that the Woodinville Rep Theatre has actually staged. I mean, things from The Mousetrap to Arsenic and Old Lace, and there's so much more. You've had a really great mix of some of the classics and some of the newer pieces. How do you as a company decide what's the right fit for the audience, or for our audience here in the Woodinville, Greater Woodinville area, PNW?
Sure, and that's such a great question, because I would say our method of selecting shows has changed a lot in the last 5 years since the pandemic. Our artistic director, Amanda Beckwith, joined us, and we've really evolved in the way that we choose our season lineup. So Amanda kind of helps us guide through a range of options, and then our core team takes a look at all of them. And through a collaborative selection process, we kind of choose which shows to focus on. We try to do a mix of contemporary pieces and pieces that challenge perspectives on a lot of different topics. We also look at historical works that kind of educate the public and inspire people in ways that maybe they weren't aware of before. And then we also try to choose like a crowd pleaser, something that maybe people have already had experiences with in the past, or for example, something that's more of a murder mystery, something that's really just a very entertaining, crowd-pleasing type of show. So a great example is this past season. We started out with a Thanksgiving play, which is written by Larissa Fasthorse, the first Native American female playwright to have a show on Broadway, and it was the Thanksgiving play. And it's a satire that challenges people on the holiday of Thanksgiving and how to present a holiday like that. And then our second show is The Silent Sky, which is a historical-based piece. Henrietta Leavitt was an astronomer in the early 1900s, and she actually led to the discovery that the universe was expanding. But you haven't heard a lot about her, I'm sure. Right? So we love bringing this show to the stage because it introduces people to information that they've probably never heard before, and it's just a fantastic show. It really is. And then finally, we are doing Death Trap, which will be opening April 25th. I'm sure I got that right, through May 18th. And it's a fantastic murder mystery thriller. This show, I mean...
I have to get out to see that one.
Yes. The first time that I saw it, I seriously was on the edge of my seat until the last 5 minutes, wondering how it was going to go. So it's not your typical... When you think murder mystery, a lot of times you're waiting for the old castle and, the British accents. And
why'd you look at me?
Yeah. All of that to come out, but really this is a much more contemporary, even though it was written, I believe it was the 70s when it was originally performed. It's just such a contemporary feeling piece, and it really does has you right there at the edge the entire time
wow.
of what's going to happen.
Okay, very cool. So
yeah.
with those classic, plays, are you taking some kind of artistic license with those and changing them around from kind of the originals, or do you try and stay true to kind of as close to the original as possible?
Well, I know we're going to get into this in a little bit, but we actually, we put it in the director's hands. Okay. And we are very involved in the hiring process of our directors and how they work. But we really do want to give the director the artistic freedom to look at the piece and kind of figure out where it fits in our contemporary world, if it needs to stay more true, or if there is some artistic license to be had with where it's set and the time period that it's set in. So, for example, with Death Trap, it's very flexible. It could easily have been written yesterday.
Okay.
So it's not a mind stretch at all to set it in contemporary times.
I like that.
So, yeah. Of course, with Silent Sky, we're going to set it in the time that's appropriate because it is a historical piece that really depends on the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, people might not actually be aware that, how creative Woodinville is. Obviously we've got the theatre, but I wanted to touch really quickly on something else as well. Theatre adds so much to the community, and there's also an art scene as well that people probably don't know very much about. And I just want to kind of touch on the Woodinville Creative District very briefly with you.
Sure.
Can you tell us more
new.
about, it is brand new, so can you tell us a little bit more about what that is and what it means for the city?
Sure. So we are so fortunate that the city is partnering with us, along with so many community organizations, to help build a creative district here in Woodinville, which those who aren't familiar with creative districts, it's an initiative by the state to build in these hubs for arts and culture within our cities, and to kind of highlight the existing art and culture that's already there. And that's a very broad use of the term. So it can be culinary, it can even include farming, arts for sure, fine art and performance arts, and of course our wineries as part of our culture as well here. And so really it's just kind of tried and locate a space within the city or broader community where a lot of these businesses already exist, and then to build on them in that space so that when people come into town who maybe have never interacted with Woodinville, they know where they can go to find arts and culture experiences.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm excited about what it's going to turn out like, and then it's just getting started.
Yeah.
We are super excited.
Yeah.
We really are. Woodinville has such a great heritage already with the wine culture that is here. But we really want to take that and say, Woodinville, it's more than just wine.
Yeah,
It
kind
is.
of the next kind of point with that is, it seems like having the dedicated theatre and then recognising the creative district really helps kind of put Woodinville on the map for arts and culture, not just wine. Obviously wine is a huge part of our community, but having all of those different, facets that people can like get involved in and be privy to. What kind of impact do you think that has on the local economy, businesses, and even tourism? You kind of touched on it a little bit there, but...
Huge. If I were to say what my hope for Woodinville is, it would be that Woodinville becomes the hub for arts and culture in the Pacific Northwest. That when you think of where can I go to experience arts and culture, that you think of Woodinville as one of the top names that comes to your mind here in the Pacific Northwest. And I think that thinking of it in that terms, well, obviously that opens an amazing amount of doors to our wineries, of course, but also to think of culinary endeavors, to think of larger scale performances that maybe people would have to go to the East Side to experience, to go to Seattle to experience otherwise, or Bellevue. But now they can actually come to Woodinville, spend the night in Woodinville, and be exposed to all these different types of art and culture that you might have to go to a larger city normally.
I'm going to turn it over to you just for a second. I'm going to ask you the same question then, Troy. How do you feel like the creative district, along with the theatre, impacts businesses as a business owner? I mean, you've been here for a long time. You deal with other businesses. I mean, what's your perspective?
As you
on
were
that?
asking the question, I was over here going inside, like, pick me, pick me,
I
pick me.
clearly worked for you for too long, because I can preempt what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, seriously, I mean, Heather's touched on kind of the culture of it, tourism and the wineries. But we have a huge business community too. How does that help play into that and impact?
Yeah, so I grew up in Snohomish. So Snohomish was always known for antiques, and people, it was like a destination place for antiques. I think Woodinville's got always been known for wine kind of
Right.
thing to it. So, I mean, for me, I think that the creative district is just, it's a way. I've always kind of said, we need more boutiques. We need more, places to express yourself outside of, just going to a winery and wine tasting, because,
Yeah.
you do that and then, what's next?
What's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and just, I mean, as a parent myself, just having a place in the city for my children to be able to experience arts and culture, where I don't
Sure.
have to take them now outside of the city, where I'm going to then buy lunch and dinner
Right.
in Bellevue or in
You're
Seattle.
keeping your money here.
I'm
in
keeping
our
my money here, which already so much of my sales tax dollars are here in Woodinville, but not my entertainment dollars. In general,
Sure.
if you're going out to a show somewhere else,
Yeah.
then you're going to spend your dinner money there. You're going to,
I'm hoping it will have a positive impact on real estate as well. Having that draw. I mean,
Yeah.
it might mean that there's again less inventory because people have been coming here, but it's gonna help drive up the economy, right?
Yeah, and then the city is also in the Creative Arts District, a portion of that section there, changing the zoning to be able to allow for smaller units, smaller commercial units, and also a little bit more access for affordable housing options as well. So I'm super happy about all that. And, you asked me about the economic impacts to it, and it's exactly what Heather says, keeping people staying local, spending their money here, supporting the city, it's going to be good. It's just good all the way around. It's a win-win-win-win. It just keeps going.
Yeah. So can I stay under my rock now and just stay here in Woodinville Bothell area?
Oh,
Is
sorry.
that okay? He keeps giving me a hard time about this one. Like, but
Have you ever been here? Like, what? Where's that?
why would I mean, Woodinville's so great.
I know.
But,
I agree.
So
I agree.
before we turn the focus completely back to the Woodinville Rep Theatre, are there any fun collaborations happening between the Woodinville Rep Theatre and the Creative District? Maybe some joint events or cross promotions that are in
Sure.
the works?
Sure. I mean, and we've looked at it from the beginning after the pandemic coming back, that we really want to build up the arts in our community, not just the theater. But so we've been collaborating with the Woodinville Arts Alliance. Every performance, we offer artists the chance to display their work. So in our upcoming shows, for example, we have 3 artists, and for Silent Sky, we were highlighting female perspectives. So they will have the opportunity to sell their work at our shows. And it also gives our audiences a chance to become familiar with local artists and to purchase local artwork, along with, when they're taking a break at intermission and go up for their wine at the bar, they can also stroll around, and you get an experience of both a gallery and a show at the same time.
I love that.
We also are involved heavily with Winterfest and Woodinville Pride, which are going to continue to take place in the area that's slotted to be the creative district of downtown Woodinville. And those events, as we know, draw in thousands of people to the Woodinville area. So we have characters that show up at these events. We had story time in partnership with the King County Library at Woodinville Pride. So we really try to be a central part of the community that is here currently, along with being involved in people who come into Woodinville for entertainment.
Right. Yeah, love that.
Yeah, me too.
Not to mention Wilmette Gateway Park and hopefully the new stage that
New
is going to be
stage, yeah.
coming sooner rather than later.
Let's hope, right?
Yes,
We keep talking about this. We keep hearing about it. I'm like, okay.
It's quite the process. I
I
mean, kind
know.
of being a little bit behind the scenes with the city. It's you got the amount of permitting you have to go through
Yeah.
to do anything by the stream or by the river. It's a river, I guess, not a stream. But
Yeah, but we want it now.
we want it
We
now.
just have to wait.
It's the speed of government.
Yeah, you said that when we
Right.
talked to the mayor, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now we just have events and pretend that it's there.
Yeah,
And we pretend that it's there. And boy, how amazing will it be when it is
there,
actually there.
yeah.
I was going to mention that you, for now, have partnered with DeLille, and as far as
Yeah.
the space that you're in, and I think that's a great cross pollination as well,
Yes.
to be able to highlight what they do as well as where where the performance is, to be able to serve dinner.
I mean, it just makes sense. So the restaurant at DeLille Cellars is just a fantastic partner right now. They have an event space upstairs over the restaurant where we currently perform dinner theater, and they provide their world-class culinary food and wine. It pairs so greatly with a show. Frankly, as far as I know, it's the only dinner theater experience on the East Side. So, your whole night is planned out for you. You come
Right.
early, you get to eat your meal, enjoy the fantastic
some wine,
wine,
yeah,
socialize with your
yeah.
friends, and then the show begins after dinner is completed.
Definitely has a kind of elegant air to it.
It does.
It is so
I'm
elegant,
ready
yes.
to go right now.
Yeah.
We have to wait.
I know. It's
Yeah.
middle of the afternoon for me.
25th of April for the next dinner
Yeah.
show, right? Okay. All right.
Well, all right. Let's turn things back to the Woodinville Rep. So I think a lot of people don't realize just how much work goes into producing a show. What is that process like from the moment you pick a script to opening night?
It's nothing so easy.
Well, it seems
know.
daunting. Like
You guys make it look easy,
and getting creatives to come together to.
Yeah.
like herding cats.
I didn't want to say that, but you did. Yeah.
Well, I'm herding you on a podcast. I know what it's like.
Meow.
So it's such a fun experience, but
Yeah.
people really don't get the full picture of what an intricate and kind of collaborative, complicated process it can be. So for us, it starts with, of course, choosing the show, and that even on our end is a collaborative process. I think there are several theaters who it's just the artistic director picking the season and then they just go forward, but we really are collaborative even from that point of making sure that we feel like we've just have a range of attractions for audiences to come see. And then we also are very fortunate at the Rep. We have a team of design individuals, so lighting design, set design, sound design, stage managers, and our production team that really come back to us over and over again for our shows. And so we might rotate a little bit of who's doing what, but really it's just a solid core of individuals that have come into what's a family atmosphere, because we really make a point of being a safe, inclusive, and welcoming space for people to come and be their full selves with us and what it means to be part of that family. We also take pride in the fact that we have people come who have never had experience before.
Okay.
So earlier when I was doing set design for the Rep, I had the pleasure of bringing in an assistant, and she had never done set design and had retired from her career and thought she might be interested. So she was assistant set designer for me and worked with me as a scenic artist for a couple of shows. And now she's taken on this season. She's the set designer, and boy, she just blows it out of the water, frankly.
That's a way to take a risk. Wow.
It is
That's cool.
such a beautiful experience to watch someone develop a love for theater and a talent they never knew they had, and to be able to watch them come fully into themselves and take ownership of that role to where now she could honestly take on an assistant set designer, and that person would be able to develop the same set of skills, and she gets to experience other parts of the theater and just has developed a real love. So that's a beautiful thing to see. As far as directors go and actors, we really, I think, open that up to have different viewpoints every season. We really like to bring in new directors so that it's always kind of got a new, fresh perspective on each of the shows that we do.
Right.
And we do have a lot of repeat actors, and I'm so thankful for the talent that we have in the greater Seattle area, and they continue to come back to us again. We really pride ourselves on being a space that people want to work, that they really look forward to coming in and putting together this kind of show and this product. So then after we've built our team, it's rehearse, 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 and that goes on for 4 or 5 weeks. What you don't see is all the background work. So there are, of course, the box office side, building out all the ticket platforms and all the different experiences for patrons to purchase their tickets. There's of course, the restaurant relationship side where we're building out the menus and all of the marketing and advertising and just
Lots of moving parts.
it is quite a thing. And every single time I sit there and it gives me chills, and I'm just amazed to see the final product when it goes on that night, because I know all of the love and talent that's gone into each show. And I just sit there with chills on opening night. I do every
That's great.
single time,
That's
no matter
great.
how many times I've seen the show, because just to see it come to life is something
Yeah.
so special.
That anticipation's got to be.
I love it when when you finish watching a show and you think it all looks so effortless, and all of that work that went, all the operations and logistics that go behind it to bring that, and you guys present it in a way that just looks like, oh, this thing.
That's easy.
It was easy.
Right? And the actors especially, it's to make it fresh every single night. They've performed it, I don't even know how many times at that point, and it still feels brand new. That's such a beautiful skill, and they are experiencing it brand new. Their emotions, you can see. It's just, again, chills every time.
It takes some skill to do that. So do you have a favorite production that you worked on, or one that particularly meaningful to you?
I do.
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
like that's kind of like naming a favorite child, right?
Well, what I'm going to do,
Do we do that?
I don't think we can.
I'm gonna put aside my previous experience before the rep.
Okay.
Just pull from my experience with the rep.
Okay.
And honestly, I would have to say it's These Shining Lives. Although I love every single cast and everything we've been involved with, that was my first experience being deeply entrenched with the rep in a collaborative and meaningful way. And it was also so impactful for me because it was the first time I brought my children into the world of theater to be a part of it with me. So my older daughter was assistant stage manager for that show, and my younger children both took on roles as stagehands, and they were at almost every rehearsal with me, and they just developed such a love for theater in that
That's
show.
cool to see.
And it was a very, very, it was a family. The show, the actors, the tech, we all kind of, that show solidified who we are as a theater, I think.
Right.
And just the kind of environment and world that we wanted to create for the people who work with us. So it was really special for me because I think that's when I saw the full potential of what we could become here in Woodinville. So yeah.
That's so
Very cool. So, theater can be full of surprises, right? Is there any funny or unexpected moments from past productions?
There's always,
Whoops.
Those uh-oh moments.
there's always, at theater, the whole live nature of theater,
Yeah.
and the show must go on. And I have to tell you, there is one show that we had, and we came back from intermission, and an actor had accidentally kicked a plug to one of the lights.
Oh, no.
So we lost the lighting for the show, and there was an actress, bless her, she came out on stage with her accordion, and she's supposed to perform a song, and she's out there, and she literally improv'd for 5 minutes, came up with a song and everything, until we could figure out
What
what
happened?
had happened
Oh,
and
no.
why the lights didn't come back up. But she just carried on, and the audience had a fantastic time with her improv. Full stomping and clapping and just improv the whole song. So yeah, there's always prepare for the unexpected
Yeah.
and keep your cool. She just kept her cool and went with it. Until
Someone
we
was
came back
freaking
home.
out.
I'm pretty level-headed in a crisis. So
So you didn't freak out?
I did not freak out.
bet
No,
some people would.
my poor tech side,
Yeah.
he might have been freaking out just a little bit.
It's his job to freak out. It's his
job to
department.
freak out. It was his job. But, we discovered it and we went forward and the show was fantastic. And honestly, I think it was probably one of the more fun evenings because
Gotcha.
of
Yeah.
the unexpected.
Sometimes the
so
unexpected just adds
Right.
another layer to things, right?
It was
And-
definitely another layer.
Bravo to that that
Yeah,
actor for
Elizabeth.
Yeah, just going with the flow.
Shout out to
True,
Elizabeth.
you know, pure professionalism.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. All right, so let's look ahead to, you know, what else is going on with, you know, the future of the theatre. So what's next for Woodinville Rep? Are there any exciting shows coming up? You've kind of hinted on a couple,
Yeah.
so let's talk about that one that, you know,
Death
25th
Trap.
of April, that one, and then further afield. Have you guys started planning what's ready
Sure.
for the rest of 2025, 2026?
Sure.
Tell us what that looks like.
So Death Trap, of course, is the more immediate. Again, April 25th. Go get your tickets,
Yeah.
woodinvillerep.org. And that one I'm very
That's
excited
the dinner
about.
theatre, right?
It's all in dinner theater this season, and actually, I can say that we plan on being there again next season. So
Perfect.
there's another season
yeah.
in the works for the restaurant at the Little Cellars.
Cool.
So I'm really excited about that. I also, you know, as far as the theater goes, I'm really excited about our education program, which we haven't touched on much here. But thanks to a grant from the city of Woodinville, we were able to really kick that off in the last year. And we were able to roll out some fantastic offerings to North Shore School District. Of course, there's budget cuts and funding issues in the arts, especially in our public school system. So we were able to develop teaching artists to go into local elementary school and work with the students there on a regular basis, 2 days a week. And it was just such a fantastic and well-received experience that we have hopes and intentions for more grants to come through in the future so that we can continue to provide that service free to our public schools.
Okay.
We also offer, senior, we have relationships in seniors communities to provide free education also to senior citizens. Study after study shows that theater is fantastic for combating loneliness and isolation and making you feel like you're more a part of the community. So we really want to do outreach in that manner. We also offer, you know, camps to school children, and we always have an option for people who have economic challenges to attend our camps for discounted or for free. So we're really excited about our education opportunities in addition to continuing to work the rep with the Little Cellars at the restaurant. We also hope to bring along weekly or monthly events in improv and new works here in the greater Seattle community so that playwrights have a chance to try their shows out before they build them bigger. So yeah, we've got all kinds of things going on.
Gotcha,
It's just
okay.
and the creative district. I mean, come on, how exciting is that?
We're going to talk about the creative district and what's coming there in just a second. I wanted to go back to the improv thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, so who would be invited to kind of take, is that anybody could kind of do that? Because I'm thinking here,
Are you
anybody.
interested?
No, I'm an introvert, so no.
I am too. I'm an
I don't
introvert.
believe you. That's
Yes.
what he says to me all the time. I don't believe you.
No.
Where I was going with that, though, it's an interesting idea for, you know, not just the community, but maybe business owners, business leaders that
Yep.
feel that kind of anxiety when put in those public speaking kind of positions, or whether they have to present. Doing something like an improv workshop might actually kind of help with.
That scares the heck out of me.
Spoiler alert. We
Oh, wow.
actually are going to be offering a public speaking class for business professionals
Really?
that involves taking the concepts from acting and being a theater person and applying those to your business experiences, and improv is definitely part of that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because
cool.
I know when I
I might
first
have to take that.
I think I think it actually be good. I'm not saying anything about your public speaking skills, but I actually think it's a really worthwhile exercise.
Yeah.
You know, many years ago actually, I was told, oh, you need to like present, you need to give seminars. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I was put in a class where you're given some of those skills, and I think it makes a huge difference to kind of how you feel about yourself when you stand up in front of people and talk, and just that kind of confidence level that it gives you.
Yes.
But doing it in a fun way that feels a little less structured, I think would be
Right.
kind of a great idea.
And learning that it's okay to mess up.
Yeah.
The yes and principle of improv, where you say yes and you don't say no to any of it. You just build on it, and learning that if you make a mistake, if you miss something, it's not the end of the world. You can pick it back up later
Yeah.
or not. That's okay too.
Sometimes people know, sometimes they don't, right? If
Yeah.
there's a mistake that's made.
Yeah, and it's all just learning to have fun with the unexpected.
Yeah.
And to develop that comfortable feeling of I can do this, and it's okay if things don't go exactly as I had planned.
Right. And it helps you build into that, gravitas, right? So as you move kind of through careers and stuff. So I think that's great.
Absolutely.
Please give us more details.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward
Yeah,
to
let us
that.
know when
Absolutely.
that comes on board, because I'm sure that would be something that a lot of people would be interested in.
Sure.
Even if they don't necessarily use the skills, I think it plays into so many different avenues, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I mean, you have to talk to people no matter where you go. You know?
Well, and that's really, I would say, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is being really nimble,
Okay.
and being responsive to our community. So we go out and we talk to people and say, what do you want? What do you need? I mean, that's how we worked with North Shore School District. We didn't go in saying, here's what we want to do.
Yeah.
We said, what do you need?
How can we help?
And how can we help you? That's
Yeah.
the benefit of us as a nonprofit. We work very hard to provide an impact in our community, and we believe we do that through theater. But we're not just here for plays. That's not who we are.
Yeah.
We are here to serve our community and build our community and provide essential art to our community.
Yeah.
And we do that through theater. So that's kind of...
I love that. I think
cool.
that's something that a lot of people probably have no idea that you guys do for the, with the Woodinville Rep Theater.
Right.
So
Marketing is something we need to get a better handle on. So if anybody out there hears this and wants to
Well,
volunteer,
yeah,
Yeah.
small organizations wear so many hats. It's
they
tough.
do
to,
indeed.
yes, and
Yeah.
especially, I mean, frankly, we have grown tremendously in the last year and a half. So the amount that we have grown is just, it's so impressive and such a source of pride for everyone who contributes here,
Yeah.
and also shows such a need, just to constantly get the feedback of, oh my gosh, we are so glad you're here, and wow, this is a great program, and to just want to be able to meet all of those needs. We just need to build.
I'm super excited about the school portion of that because, obviously I didn't grow up here, but, the schools that I went to in the
didn't?
UK and Germany, no, I didn't. Shocking, I know. But we were always offered a drama program, right? And so that just became something that was just there. You took it for
Right.
granted. And I understand that there's not so much of that here. And being able to offer that to kids, I think is a great thing.
And like I said, I mean, I was that kid. If it hadn't been in the public school system, I would not have been able to afford it or to go to it or to experience it. And boy, how different my life would have been. I mean, I definitely credit my flexibility in business and my ability to communicate with people and to be comfortable with myself is solely in the hands of theater. Like, that is where I developed those skills that I've carried with me into life to be able to achieve anything.
Those are good skills to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I think people miss that about theater. I think they think you do theater just to do theater.
To become an actress or an actor.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case.
They really don't see that actually the vast majority of the time that is not the case. The case is that you build all of these executive function skills, all of these skills that
Sales skills.
Yeah.
You have to sell yourself. all
yeah,
around.
I always say if people buy you, they buy what it is you're selling,
I think it also gives, people who maybe are a little shy and introverted an opportunity to step outside of themselves in a comfortable space that doesn't feel
Yes.
quite so scary
Yes.
because it's in a group of people that are doing the same kinds of things. You don't know what their personality traits are, but it just gives you an opportunity to, I guess, put on your stage persona, whether it's,
Sure.
Beyonce or Sasha Fierce, just kind of, you can pretend to be somebody else and
Right.
it feels like a safe space.
The vast majority of actors will tell you that they are introverts, myself included. I am an introvert who can extrovert well, but I get my energy when I'm alone and calm and able to process everything. But I love people, and I know how to interact with people. but I am an introvert. Yeah.
All right, you've told us a lot about what the Rep Theatre is doing. Just really quick, what's kind of down the road big vision for both the theatre and the creative district for the next 5 years? I don't think that there's anything more that you can add to the theatre. That was a lot, and that's not all going to happen in 5 minutes. So
Right.
is there anything else that you missed?
Like I said, my big vision is that Woodinville becomes synonymous with arts and culture here in the Pacific Northwest. That you don't think of arts and culture without thinking of Woodinville, and that becomes a destination to experience, and not just for adults.
Yeah.
Because so
Right.
much of it now, with it being oriented towards wine, is adults. And I also want to provide a space for youth and for families to know that they have a place here as well.
Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah, mic drop.
Mic drop. Silence. So,
That's great.
well, if we were to ask, is there any production at all that the Woodinville Rep would do if there was no budget or logistical worries? Well, what would it be?
So I got to be honest, I love limits. Because when you give me limits, I have to be creative.
Oh,
I have to come up with how I'm
Yeah.
going to work. That was one of my favorite things about architecture, is that there are very definite limits, like gravity,
right.
and that you have to be.
You got principles that you have to.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so you become creative. So honestly, there's a lot of people can come up with really cool stuff given no
Parameters, no budget.
parameters, right? So it really becomes fun. But I have to
I think
say,
it probably becomes less original at that point, right? Potentially.
I mean, yeah, or less, less functional in some way, or I don't know. I think that the limits provide room for creativity. I
That's
really
cool.
do.
I like that.
Outside the box thinking
Yes,
is what it
absolutely
comes down to.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
I have to say that I have this current obsession. So I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but there is a movie from the 1990s called Swing Kids. Okay. It was a fantastic movie. It was themes of resistance and youth culture and the power of swing music
Yeah.
during Nazi Germany. And it was just such an impactful movie to me. And I would love to see that developed into a musical for the stage. And it just so happens that the person who owns the rights to that being someday produced as a musical lives here in Woodinville now. I know. So
really?
I constantly poke at them and say, it'd be really great. So if,
That's a small world,
if
huh?
he's listening right now, I'm just going to say.
We need to make sure we send in the show.
No, well, I mean, he's got it. He knows. So I would love, that would be one that would really, man, I love swing music, and that show is just so powerful.
I'm sure that would be a high
fantastic.
energy, high octane kind of show to go watch.
It
Well,
would.
and kind of a difficult story to tell too. So I think that would be great.
Yeah. It was really about how the experience of living in Nazi Germany affected the youth of Germany at the time, and what all they experienced during that time. And it's such a powerful show. Such a powerful show.
I might need to go and
Movie.
Let's
look
do
that
it.
movie up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll recognize a lot of famous faces when
Really?
they were younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Guess what I might be doing this weekend? Watching that movie.
Unfortunately, I have not found it anywhere on streaming. You actually have to purchase the DVD.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Old
yeah.
school, huh?
But I have it on my list of purchases right now, so I'll lend it to you.
Everybody
Okay.
listening, it's a great gift for Heather.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah.
Well, since we love Woodinville so much, we love celebrating Woodinville here on the show for sure. We always like to ask our guests, wrapping up the show, what is maybe a hidden gem or two? It can be a restaurant, a park. I said restaurant already.
Yeah.
Anything that brings you
Anything.
joy.
So,
Yeah.
so you're thinking restaurant for sure.
Oh man, I must be hungry.
Which is a great segue into, of course, I'm going to say the restaurant at DeLille Cellars.
Yeah, you
because
said that already.
I know, but I have to highlight one of my favorites there,
Okay.
and it's not a big item on their menu, but I'm vegetarian, and I also have a lot of food allergies. And DeLille is so fantastic about working around my food issues
Gotcha.
to make sure that I can still experience a high quality meal. I absolutely love their mushroom toast. It is an obsession. I literally think about it at least once a week, thinking this would be good. This would be good right now. This would be
My
really
daughter would love that mushroom toast.
good. It is so good. It is so
I think they're so underrated.
They
Really?
are.
Yeah.
And
I've heard of avocado toast, but never mushroom toast.
Well, yeah, I just mean mushrooms in general.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's
yeah,
got arugula, and
Oh.
it's Parmesan. It's so good. So good.
Now I am hungry.
Yes. And then I have one other one.
Okay,
And it's kind of
please.
become a second home to us when we're not at the restaurant at DeLille. We always run into each other in the theater at Cava Azul.
Oh,
So over by Target and World Market.
yeah.
They are so fantastic. Again, working with people with food issues. They know who I am the moment I walk up, and that was after the first time I went there. They just were
That's
ready
cool.
for me.
I like that.
And they're so fantastic there.
Yep.
The food's great there too.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
We've been there several times.
And great
So good.
margaritas too. Such a selection of margaritas.
Yeah. I love their queso.
Yep. And they've got non-alcoholic options. They've got plenty of tequila options. So yeah, they've
Yeah.
got something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Right on.
And a fantastic outdoor eating space as well. So they
Yes.
built this fantastic
Yep.
pergola.
Yep.
And it's just such
we
a...
got warmer weather coming up here
We
shortly.
no, they have heaters.
Oh.
All year round. Covered.
Oh,
Covered with
nice.
heaters.
Nice.
I'd
Love
want to be
them.
directly under the heater. I get cold.
Yeah.
Even in the summer.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that was a good chat.
We learned a
Oh,
lot. Yeah.
I feel like we could just talk theater and creative arts and all that
I
good
know.
stuff for,
I'm like
all
itching to go
afternoon.
buy my tickets now. Like, okay.
please
I
do.
know.
Yeah.
April 25th.
And I will say you have the option, because we want to make it affordable for everyone in the broad community. You can purchase the show without dinner, or you can choose to do the fantastic 3-course meal with the restaurant that involves a appetizer, main dish, and dessert. So you have both options, and that way, if you need to keep it more affordable, you can go for just the show.
That's great.
Or you can do the full experience.
Yep. I think either way, it sounds like a great night out with your sweetie or with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Right on.
Okay, all right, well, that is all we have time for on that segment. We're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we're going to hit on our real estate roundup. Are you ready for this segment, Troy?
Sure.
My favorite word
I
in the
know.
world.
Thank you both so much. This has really been a lot of fun.
When we
Yeah.
come back, we're going to get some more details for you after we finish with the real estate roundup, where people can buy tickets, where they can find out more
Sure.
information, website address, and all of that. But for right now, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome back to TLC, 10 Life Community Podcast. Heather, thank you again for amazing insights into the Woodinville Rep. Can't wait to see what else you guys come up with for the seasons ahead of us. But we're going to dive in. Are you ready for your real estate roundup?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. We've
sure.
mentioned, sure. That's a pet peeve of mine. If anybody doesn't know that. It's such a. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Inside joke.
Yeah. As we've mentioned on the show in the past, we're always really happy to sit down with people and chat about, the home selling and the home buying process. It's one of those areas that people have questions but are sometimes afraid to ask, or they don't know, what resources are available to them and where to turn. But you, Troy, are very happy to sit down with people any kind of stage that they're at in their home buying or selling process. But I just wanted to kind of talk about something that we're also doing, which is helping people gain a kind of full understanding of the market conditions with our home sellers workshop. So I want you to tell our audience a little bit more about that, what that really is, why you're doing it, and kind of how it can help them.
Well, I mean, being in sales, there's a lot of reluctance, people just in general talking to me.
Yeah.
But every time I meet with someone in person at a networking event or just out there, like, how's the market, what's going on, asking me questions about this stuff. But yet I rarely get people reaching out about, gosh, what do I need to do to get my house for sale, or what can I do to improve my equity? And so we've started these home selling, I call them home seller workshops, but they're really a homeowner workshop where just kind of go over, what improvements pay off the most to your house, what might be great for you to add to your house that may not add value, but
Right.
just be nice for you. You know, and we go over just if you are thinking about selling in the next couple of years. It doesn't have to be like next week or next month. It's really important to plan ahead because I think we've talked about this on shows before, but you know, if you let your rhododendrons grow too big, we can't trim them back in time to go on the market. They're too big. They got to come out. We got to put something else in there to, you know, showcase the house. So, you know, just going over stuff like that on a regular basis without, I mean, there's no obligation to work with me. There's no obligation for you to list your house with me right away or anything like that. We really just want to build a relationship and be able to add value to our community that way. You know, just going over even the best times to sell. So, you know, if you have the luxury of, you know, planning ahead, getting the things in motion that need to get done to the house. Every house I've ever worked with needs something, whether it's, and sometimes even newer houses need things too. So, you know, just going over that, coming up with a strategy and a plan, definitely beforehand is helps pay off in the future. What was I going to say? I do a full equity analysis, so I don't just go over, you know, what the market's doing right now and what your house could sell for, but you know, if you did this to the house, how that would affect the equity. If you did that to the house, or if you did nothing, how that, you know, just what that's going to look like. And like I said, the sooner we can get together and talk about that stuff. If it's, you know, you're thinking about selling in a couple of years, you're thinking about selling in 5 or 6 years, it's not really too early to start that planning process to maybe get ahead of some of these things.
Yeah, what I appreciate about the fact that it's a seller, you know, it's a workshop, it's a homeowner's workshop as opposed to, you know, just kind of giving you a call. That can feel a little bit intimidating, but it's more in a social setting where people, you know, can ask questions. You'll probably answer the questions before they even ask them when it's in this workshop environment, right? Because we've already preemptive of what people are looking to find out from these. So I think these are a great opportunity for anybody, you know, who's buying, selling, whatever they're thinking about in the real estate market, to come along and just kind of get some insider tips and information. And you'll probably have other industry experts there as well, whether it's lenders or stagers. You know, each workshop's going to be different who else will be there to provide information. But where can people find more information about your workshops?
Well, I'm going to have it on my website, which is tendhometeam.com, and under the blog section, you can search it there.
Okay, perfect. And if they just want to call you and find out more information?
Yep, call or text anytime, 206-504-3660.
Okay, all right, Heather, back to you. Please tell us the website address, where we can buy tickets, and anything else that's pertinent for people to get into one of those shows, or even find out more information about getting involved.
Sure. So you can find all of that at woodinvillerep.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky.
All the socials.
We're there. I would say, you know, other things are definitely get your tickets as soon as possible so you can pick your seat for the dinner theater. And if you have larger groups, or if you wanted to do corporate events, we also have corporate events so that you get the floor for 2 hours before the show while everyone's doing dinner. So you can talk about...
so you can chit-chat with your...
You can talk about all your
constituents.
real estate. So, and it's also a great customer appreciation. So we host, you know, larger events and can do corporate events and make it a really easy situation for larger groups.
That's fun.
Yeah. And we do offer discounts, of course, for seniors, for military, for students, and for large groups. So reach out to us at woodinvillerep.org, and our email's there, our phone number is there.
We'll have all the information on this show as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I highly encourage people to go check out a show.
Yep.
You can also sign up to volunteer or to donate. Just, you know, if you just want to sponsor us, you like what you've heard, by all means.
And all of that is on the website.
All of it's on the website.
Wonderful.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have time for this week. So if you've enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, your community, your neighbors. And if you're watching on YouTube,
ding the dinger.
Ding the dinger,
yeah. I lost it there for a minute. Stage fright.
Well, maybe you need to go and do all of the work.
I know, I do. I'm excited about the workshop, actually.
All right. Well, thanks very much for listening, everybody. We will see you next time.